Hey everyone, Marbo's here with the new installment of Cageside with Marbo. Today I'm here with the F&D crew at Artistry Jiu-Jitsu. Today I got the opportunity to interview Coach Felipe Rocha. So let's cut the chat, let's get him in here and see what he's got to say.
My name is Felipe Rocha. Been training Jiu-Jitsu for about 20 years. Been doing MMA for like about 5. I'm originally from Brazil, but now I'm residing in Houston, Texas.
So what intrigued you to step into an MMA gym at first?
I was fat. Yeah, I was real fat and was looking for something to do and found a Gracie Baja gym and just signed up and never looked back.
What age were you when you started training?
15 years old.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you intimidated at first to step in the gym?
Not really. What ended up getting me hooked was I'm naturally very competitive. I got choked unconscious my first class ever. After that, I kind of made it my mission to get back at the guy that did it to me. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to sign up and I'm going to get really good at this and I'm going to get this guy. Granted, I never got him because I never ran into him again, but
it was your mission.
He got me started.
Got you. You said you started at Gracie Baja. Was that in New York or was that?
Yeah, that was back in New York where I grew up. I stayed there for a few years, but then the gym shut down and I trained with Marcelo Garcia for about 6 years. Stayed with him until purple belt. Then after that, I started training with JT Torres, and I was with him till till brown. And then I started training at Unity Jiu-Jitsu, and that's where I got my black belt.
What year did you earn your black belt in Unity?
5 years ago.
Okay, so like 2020?
Yeah, 2020, end of 2020.
Did you start your MMA career here in Texas or back in New York?
Yeah, no, I started it here. Originally, when I started training Jiu-Jitsu, I kind of, every young guy, you see the UFC, you're like, man, I want to do that. Like, that looks really cool. So it was always a thought. But then my last year competing Jiu-Jitsu at brown belt, achieved the top of the rankings for the IBJJF. And I realized, I was like, man, I'm like the #1 ranked athlete in the world, and I didn't make a single dime off of this. I'm like, let's try something else, And then that's kind of when I dove into MMA. And like I was telling you prior to the interview, I have a very addictive personality. So as soon as I start something, I'm all in. Yeah.
Gotcha. So early on, did you compete in any grappling matches, or did you do any smokers?
I just jumped straight into Fury.
Straight into Fury?
Yeah. Oh, they just threw me. They just right into the wolves. They're like, here.
How do you balance being an active fighter while also leading a team as a head coach?
There is no balance. You have all these guys telling you, oh yeah, I do this, I do that. It's a lie. Like I have 2 kids, I have gym, trying to balance being a fighter. There's like little chapters in your life that you go through, right? So like if I know I have a fight coming up, everything in my life revolves around that fight for that little bit, And unfortunately, that means that other things kind of have to take a back seat for that moment. I try to set myself up in ways to where I can focus on this and like my students don't have to pay the price. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. So that's why it's very hard to be a full-time coach and a fighter at the same time.
So would you say coaching makes you a better fighter, or does fighting make you a better coach?
I think they both go hand in hand, right? Because whenever I ask my fighters for something, I wouldn't ask them to do something that I haven't done myself, and it's a different feel when you're trying to ask someone to do something and you've never wore those shoes of a fighter, right? So it's a little different. And as you're coaching, you have to have a thorough understanding of everything that you are teaching. So that kind of translates into making you a better fighter, because you have to dive deep into everything that you're asking for from your people.
How significantly has the artistry team grown in the past few years?
Oh man, it's been great. 3 years ago, we started in my 2-car garage, right? I remember the gym that I was coaching at before. Things is just, we had different points of views, and we decided to go our separate ways. And it couldn't have been a worse time because my fiance, she was pregnant with my daughter. She was 6 months pregnant. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna drop everything and start a gym. I'm like, I just need you to trust that this is gonna work. Then couldn't have been a worse time, but hey, it worked, right? So now we're at the warehouse. We're looking to expand again. We have over 100 students, which is great, you know, in such a short time span. But I think when people, they come in, they see how passionate and I am about everything that I do, so they stick around.
So long term, do you see yourself more as a coach, a fighter, or just both?
I have a few years left in me fighting, right? I don't want to be that guy that's fighting to his 50s, you know? So for sure, like, I see myself coaching more towards the future. That's the one thing that I have to be honest about, that I have found so much joy in lately, is been the coaching, you know? Plus it's nice not to have to cut weight, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing that since I was 15 years old. I'm like, oh my God, it's awful. I get a lot of pleasure out of seeing my students grow. What we do, like, we impact people's lives in so many ways. That's like where the real joy from this comes from, you know, because anyone trying to get into coaching to be rich, it's not gonna happen. We're not in this for money. We're in this because we're just passionate about it.
How does your mindset shift whenever you enter camp mode?
Whenever I'm not in camp, my main focus during training is always like improvement, right? I expose myself to things that I normally wouldn't allow to happen, right? But then the moment we enter camp, I'm trying to win every single round of everything we're doing. You know, then at that moment, I'm no longer working. I'm just sharpening the tools that I already have.
What would you say keeps you motivated during camp?
The challenge more than anything. People, they talk about, like, for example, like a midlife crisis. So they really don't have, like, things that are required of them to, like, challenge themselves. You know, when you get into that constant state of just like living through the same old every day all the time, that's when you start to question your life's worth, you know. But whenever I have this challenge ahead of me that requires me to evolve as a fighter, as a human being, that pushes me out of my comfort zone and it forces me to grow. So that's something else, you know, a lot.
How soon can we expect to see you in the cage again?
So as soon as my neck heals, I'll be good to go. That's the only thing that's still holding me back. Every now and then when I get into certain exchanges, I still feel my arms go a little numb,
I feel that.
you know? So being with everything that I have going on in my life, right, with kids, gym and everything, I don't want to risk any permanent damage, you know? So that's the only thing that's been holding me back recently.
What races through your heart when you walk out on fight night?
So, and that's the thing that I tell everyone. When you're in the cage or when you're walking towards the cage, you're not gonna remember anything, you know? Because I vividly remember my first fight. It lasted, I want to say 35 seconds maybe, right? But during those 35 seconds, I have absolutely zero memory of it. You know, it's like your body just goes into the, what is it called?
Flow state.
Yeah, it goes into that flow state, and it's just muscle memory at that point, you know? And in a way, it's kind of like, you know, the guys say, like, I see red and I just go and bodies drop, right? We kind of just get into that state, and there's no much thinking at that point, you know? You just do what you do, and that's it.
Okay.
You know, I just think about trying to get out of there injury-free so I can go home as opposed to the hospital. And that's it. That's really all that's in my mind.
Okay. So to wrap it up, what would you like to see artistry in the next 5 years?
Keep changing lives, man. I feel like the little time that I've been around, that I've helped out so many people. I'm constantly looking to do more and more. I know we've done like toy drives, food drives to help out the community. I have offered like some scholarships to certain people that couldn't necessarily afford the training, you know. Anything that I can do to give back to the community and to continue to help people be the best version of themselves, like I love to keep doing that.
That's all, everyone. If you made it this far, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. As always, I'm going to leave our guests with some closing words. Also, if you're ever in town trying to get some rolls in, come by to Artistry. Thank you.